In a world where end-of-life decisions are deeply personal and often filled with emotion, one question has sparked considerable debate. What does the Bible say about cremation? For many, this choice represents a profound moment of reflection and spiritual consideration. Is cremation a practice that aligns with biblical teachings, or does it conflict with ancient scriptures and traditions? As we delve into this sensitive and intriguing topic, we'll explore the historical, theological, and scriptural perspectives on cremation. This journey will not only clarify the biblical stance, but also offer a deeper understanding of how ancient practices intersect with modern beliefs. Stay tuned as we unravel the mysteries surrounding this topic and discover what the Bible truly says about cremation. To fully understand the biblical perspective on cremation, it's important to consider the historical and cultural context in which ancient Israelites lived. In the ancient Near East, burial was the predominant practice among the Israelites. This was not merely a cultural norm, but also a deeply spiritual tradition. Burial was seen as a way to honor the deceased and ensure that their body was laid to rest in a sacred manner. Cremation, on the other hand, was associated with various pagan practices and was not commonly practiced among the Israelites. In many ancient cultures, including those surrounding Israel, cremation was often linked to rites that were contrary to Israelite religious practices. The Bible does not explicitly command or prohibit cremation, which leaves room for interpretation and debate. Here are some key passages and interpretations to consider. Genesis 23:19. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah his wife in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. This passage describes Abraham's burial of Sarah, which is significant because it highlights the tradition of burial in a family tomb. The act of burying the dead is depicted as a respectful and honorable practice, reinforcing the idea that burial was the expected custom. 1 Samuel 31:12-13. All the valiant men arose and went all night, and took the body of Saul and the bodies of his sons from the wall of Bethshan, and came to Jabesh, and burned them there. And they took their bones and buried them under a tree at Jabesh, and fasted 7 days. This passage shows a rare instance of cremation in the Bible. The bodies of Saul and his sons were burned, and then the bones were buried. This act appears to be an exceptional case done out of necessity, rather than as a common practice. Amos 2:1. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Moab, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he burned the bones of the king of Edom into lime. In this passage, the burning of bones is used metaphorically to describe the severity of Moab's sins. The practice of burning bones is condemned, which might suggest a negative view of such practices. From a theological perspective, the Bible's silence on cremation means that it is not explicitly condemned. However, several points are often considered in evaluating the practice. Resurrection belief. One of the core beliefs in Christianity is the resurrection of the dead. The Bible teaches that at the end of time, God will resurrect the dead and give them new bodies. For many Christians, the mode of disposing of the body is less significant compared to the belief in resurrection. Respect for the dead. Biblical principles emphasize treating the deceased with respect. Since burial was the common practice in ancient Israel, this is often seen as the most respectful method of handling the dead. However, the absence of a clear biblical directive against cremation means that it may also be acceptable if done with dignity and respect. Cultural context. The Bible's cultural context plays a role in interpreting its teachings. Since cremation was not a common practice among ancient Israelites, it is not explicitly addressed. As a result, modern practices like cremation are often evaluated based on their alignment with biblical values rather than historical precedent. Modern perspectives and practices. In contemporary Christianity, views on cremation vary widely. Some denominations and traditions accept cremation as a valid option, while others prefer burial. Here are a few perspectives. Roman Catholicism. Historically, the Roman Catholic Church preferred burial. However, the Church now permits cremation, provided it is not chosen as a denial of faith in the resurrection. The key is to treat the ashes with respect, typically by placing them in a sacred place such as a cemetery. Protestantism. Many Protestant denominations are open to cremation, focusing more on the heart's intentions rather than the method of body disposal. The belief in resurrection and eternal life is emphasized over the mode of handling the deceased. Orthodox Christianity. The Eastern Orthodox Church traditionally favors burial, but does not strictly prohibit cremation. The Church encourages traditional burial practices, as they align more closely with the resurrection doctrine. Evangelical and non-denominational churches. Many evangelical and non-denominational churches accept cremation, viewing it as a personal choice that does not conflict with biblical teachings. If you're finding this exploration of cremation in the Bible enlightening, make sure to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth discussions on biblical topics. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Some may worry that cremation could affect the resurrection process. However, most theologians argue that God, being omnipotent, can resurrect any body, regardless of its state. In modern times, some choose cremation for practical or environmental reasons. These considerations are personal and practical rather than theological. Regardless of the method chosen, treating the deceased with respect is paramount. This principle aligns with biblical teachings and reflects the care and dignity owed to those who have passed. Deciding between burial and cremation is a deeply personal choice, and one that may involve cultural and practical considerations. For many, the decision is guided by personal beliefs, family traditions, and practical considerations rather than a direct biblical mandate. The question of cremation in relation to biblical teachings is not straightforward. While the Bible does not explicitly endorse or condemn cremation, understanding the historical, cultural, and theological context helps in making an informed decision. The focus remains on the respect and dignity given to the deceased and the belief in resurrection and eternal life. As with many aspects of faith, personal conviction and understanding play a significant role in guiding choices. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of biblical perspectives on cremation. If you found this discussion insightful, be sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. Hit the notification bell to stay tuned for our next deep dive into biblical mysteries and teachings.